The first installment of the Yahoo Sports MLB Power Rankings of 2019 falls on April Fool's Day. And while trying to sort out the best and worst baseball teams less than a week into the season may feel like a fool's errand, I can assure you this was an earnest exercise, as it will be each Monday during the regular season. Some things here might look foolish in a couple of months, ahem, Padres and Mariners, but I'm really trying to weigh early returns with long-term expectations. I don't care so much about two bad teams splitting a series, which we saw, as I do about a team we thought wasn't great putting a whooping on a really good team, which we also saw. All that being said, no. One team this week shouldn't surprise you at all. And that's no fool in point 1. Philadelphia Phillies, 3-0. The Phillies have done everything to deserve the no. 1 spot in Week 1. They haven't lost, so let's start there. 3 wins against the defending NL East champs too. Bryce Harper has homered twice, but the whole lineup has hit, which is more encouraging. The pitching hasn't been lights out, but it's definitely been good enough. If this is who the Phillies are, look out. Point 2. Los Angeles Dodgers, 3-1, look out for the Dodgers too. They've scored 42 runs in 4 games. You don't need to be very good at math to know that's a good average. Their run differential is 20. Their starting pitching hasn't been amazing. A Walker Buehler lasted only 3 innings Sunday, but when you're hitting like that, it doesn't really matter. Point 3. Milwaukee Brewers, 3-1, how about Christian Yelich? The reigning NL MVP has homered in each game this season and had a walk-off double Sunday as the Brewers took 3 of 4 from a good-looking Cardinals team. I had some pitching concerns about the Brewers, but so far Christian Yelich is doing every in his power to put all the attention on himself, in the best way possible. Point 4. Tampa Bay Rays, 3-1, as someone who picked the Houston Astros to win the World Series, I'm giving the Rays extra credit for taking 3 of 4 against the Astros. I'm also taking it as a personal attack. Point 5. New York Yankees, 1-2, I will entertain a certain bit of foolishness since this baseball season is like 46 minutes old. The Yankees not being a top 5 team even with 2 losses against Baltimore is not among that foolishness. Point 6. Seattle Mariners, 5-1, they will most certainly come back to earth, but the Mariners have won 5 out of 6 games, including 3 of 4 against the defending champion Boston Red Sox. Seattle has scored at least 6 runs in 4 of 6 games. This foolishness I will entertain. Point 7. Minnesota Twins, 2-1, there's a theme here. If you can beat a team I expect to be good, in this case, the Cleveland Indians, I care a lot more about your 3-game sample. The Twins held Cleveland to 5 runs in 3 games and got 3 pretty good starts out of Jose Barrios, Jake Odorizzi and Michael Pineda. Point 8. New York Mets, 2-1, take away a walk-off homer on Sunday, and the Mets would be 3-0 right now. Against a team like the Washington Nationals too. We knew the pitching would be good, but rookie Pete Alonso has been on fire, Robinson Cano has been good, Jeff McNeil is making strong contributions. There's a lot to like so far. Point 9. Houston Astros, 1-3, here's the portion of the show where I become an apologist for 2 of the best teams in the American League. Yes, the Astros lost 3 to the Rays. But the Rays are a pretty good team and Houston's run differential, even with 3 losses, is just -3. It's not as bad as the Red Sox. Speaking of point 10, Boston Red Sox, 1-3, I can't, in good conscience, not put the Boston Red Sox in the top 10. Losing 3 of 4 to the Mariners is bad. Their starters getting knocked around is bad. Their bullpen situation looks, what's another word for bad? The Red Sox will be a good team this season, but some issues are already popping up. Point 11. San Diego Padres, 3-1, are the Padres for real? It's too early to tell, obviously, and I'm really not sure. but they won 3 out of 4 against the Giants. That doesn't make them world beaters, but hey, they made some bold moves this offseason. Let's give them at least a week to have a victory lap. 12. St. Louis Cardinals 1-3. This is the point in the list where I just have to admit the next 4 teams didn't get off to a thrilling start in the win-loss column, but I know they're better than this. Of these 4, I think the Cardinals showed the most to like. And by that, I mean Paul Goldschmidt hit 4 home runs in approximately 27 hours. Of the 3 games the Cardinals lost to the Brewers, they lost by a combined 4 runs. 13. Washington Nationals 1-2. The Nats have been all over the place in 3 games. They lost a close one to the Mets on opening day, lost an 11-8 game, then won on a walk-off homer Sunday. I'm choosing to be optimistic about the Mets, so that also trickles down to the Nats. 14. Chicago Cubs 1-2. I'm also choosing to be optimistic about the Cubs, who have scored quite a few runs, 28 total, third most in MLB, but have given up nearly as many, 23. The Chicago pitching has been rough, both starters and relievers. They've blown leads in both their losses. 15. Cleveland Indians 1-2. The Indians' offense looks pretty flat without Francisco Lindor. They've hit only 1 homer and have 12 total hits, 5 of which belong to Carlos Santana. 16. Oakland A's 3-3. The A's lost their first 2 games in Japan against the Mariners, but came home and won 2 of 3 against the Angels. Chris Davis already has 4 homers. The A's pitching staff remains a bit ragtag, but they made the playoffs with it last year. 17. Colorado Rockies 2-2. I never know what to make of the Rockies. I'd like to say that's changed this year, and maybe it will, but not yet. They beat the Marlins twice and then lost to the Marlins twice. They've got the Mets and Braves next. Maybe that will bring some clarity. 18. Los Angeles Angels 1-3. The Angels, like the Braves beneath them, ought to be better than this ranking, but already we've seen flaws exposed. The Angels lost Justin Upton to an injury for 8 to 12 weeks. Their flaw is getting production from people not named Mike Trout, and with Upton out, it's that much tougher. 19. Atlanta Braves 0-3. The Braves ran into a buzzsaw in Philly, so maybe that excuses being the only team in MLB without a win. But there's no excuse for a 10.13 team era. That could just be small sample size stuff, or it could be early exposure of pitching problems in Atlanta. 20. Miami Marlins 2-2. The next 3 teams are bad teams masquerading as good ones. I trust they'll be found out eventually. For now, credit to Sandy Alcantara, who pitched 8 scoreless innings for the Marlins on Sunday against the Rockies. It was the 15th career appearance for the 23-year-old pitcher. It's something. Miami Marlins starting pitcher Sandy Alcantara throws during the first inning of a baseball game against the Colorado Rockies, Sunday, March 31, 2019, in Miami. AP photo, Gaston de Cardenas, 21. Kansas City Royals 2-1. This season for the Royals will be about finding the positives. Jorge Soler's 5 RBIs in 3 games, positive. Brad Keller going 7 scoreless on opening day, positive. Check back next week to see if I can list off more than 2.22. Texas Rangers 2-1. Good news, the Rangers beat the Cubs 2 of 3, including 2 comeback wins. Bad news, Rangers starting pitchers have the 3rd worst ERA so far. The fact that they managed 2 wins in 3 games isn't bad, however. 23. Toronto Blue Jays 2-2. The Blue Jays won 2 games against the Tigers, who, like them, won't be very good this year. I will not be bullied by 2 wins to go any higher than this in the power rankings. 24. Detroit Tigers 2-2. The Tigers won 2 games against the Blue Jays, who, like them, won't be very good this year. I will not bullied by 2 wins to go any higher than this in the power rankings. 25. Cincinnati Reds 1-1. The Reds, like the Pirates beneath them, are hard to assess right now. They've played twice, they had a day off Friday and were postponed Saturday. Reds won the first game on a dramatic pinch-hit homer and were blanked 5-0 on Sunday. The Reds figure to be the better team by a slim margin. At the very least, more interesting. 26. Pittsburgh Pirates 1-1. Trevor Williams was the bright spot for the Pirates in their win Sunday. He pitched 6 scoreless innings, struck out 6 and had 2 RBIs at the plate. The Pirates will need all their young pitchers to step up this year if they're going to make the NL Central even more interesting. Williams included. 27. Chicago White Sox 1-2. The Royals aren't good. Their 2-1 record may end up being one of the few times they're over .500 this season. White Sox put them there, ergo the White Sox deserve this. 28. Baltimore Orioles 2-1. We all know the Orioles are the worst team in baseball. They're 100 loss bad. They've earned themselves a temporary reprieve here by beating the Yankees in 2 out of 3, but we know their ultimate fate. 29. San Francisco Giants 1-3. The Giants have scored 5 runs in 4 games started by Eric Lauer, Joey Lucchesi, Nick Margevicius and Chris Paddock. A non-hardcore baseball fan may not even know what team those guys play for. It's the Padres, and that's bad for the Giants. 30. Arizona Diamondbacks 1-3. The D-backs spent the start of the season getting run over by the Dodgers. Even worse, their former outfielder A.J. Pollock had 5 hits and 4 RBIs in 4 games. The D-backs got 1 win but finished the 4 games with a -20 run differential. Ouch. More from Yahoo Sports.